get into Annapolis, but somehow they found out that my parents were actually married and I was disqualified.
Charlie spent a lifetime trying to convince the world that he was a rogue, a scoundrel, a bad boy. But we weren't fooled, were we? We knew better. He was exposed by his own good works. We can honestly say that Charlie was a man whose vices were the small ones and his virtues were all the great ones. Charlie called me a couple of weeks ago. He said, "I got a story I got to tell you. This is pretty funny." I said, "What is it?" He said, "Well, I was talking to Sharon a while ago and I was telling her about our trip over to Austin and how we stopped at Buc-ee's in Madisonville and bought the Buc-ee's pajamas. And I was telling her about those magnificent restaurants." And said there was silence on the other end of the phone for a few moments. And finally Sharon said, "Charlie, since I was a teenager, I always look forward to your calls. You tell us about the exotic places you've been, the beautiful women you had met." And said, "Now all I hear about is restrooms and pajamas."
Well, Charlie and I have known each other for several decades, and we worked together when I was doing a lot of building internationally. Charlie was in the Congress, and then we were together a lot in the harder parts of the world, the former Soviet Union, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and so forth. And I'm not going to tell you everything about what we did, but I will say that Charlie was a great representative of our country and a man who did a lot of good for all of us with his work over there.
What's his feeling now, Afghanistan? I mean, he did so much to straighten it up with the former Soviet, and now what it is.
My personal feeling is that we messed up right after that. The need for infrastructure, for a real economy, a need for schools, for hospitals, for roads. We had the opportunity then that we didn't do it. The vacuum was filled by some people that we wish it had not been filled by, and now we're digging out of a hole that's much more difficult.
Much easier back then, you think?
Oh, I think much easier. I mean, there was not any. You didn't have to have inertia to get back to even. There was not a government in place that would have opposed us if we had gone in with humanitarian aid, had we gone in with schools, with hospitals, roads, communication, and actually built an